All right, moving on to midfielders. I know you guys give me shit about this guy all the time. Raheem Sterling. Look, he's
Finally, Bus. Giving this man his freaking dues. Bye, bye, bye.
I say this all the time, and every time I say that, you guys are like, "Oh, finally give him credit." Give him credit all the time.
I know.
It's
I
just
know it's
that
your I know it's your sore spot, so I like to poke at it once in a while.
he's priced at 8.2. That's the big thing with me. Um, the his price is just so nice because we got Sane. I believe he's at 9. I mean, I think the next person that is above, I think it's David Silva. I think he's at 8.7. I'd have to check it, but then you got Raheem Sterling. He's owned by 15.4% of the game. The biggest question for me, though, for Sterling isn't his shooting outside the box. It's it's whether he plays. That's the big thing. Because if he played every match, he would never leave my team. He would be on.
So
Well,
I hear what you're saying. It's tricky right now with Sterling. I think until he runs off form, he will 100% start. Remember Sane earlier in the season was the one sort of getting those goals, cutting across, getting the balls from Kevin De Bruyne. He was an automatic start until he cooled off for like 1 or 2 games. And all of a sudden you see Jesus starting with Aguero or something. Pep said he wouldn't do until Mendy gets back. He did it last match day. So Sterling has scored 3 buzzer beaters or game winners in a row. So he's absolutely in form right now. I don't see Pep benching him at all. But if he does have 1 or 2 games where he's not too productive, meaning there's no assists, no goals, then I think he will slide back into the rotation system that Pep seems to love.
well,
So
the last
right now, I agree with you. Right now, buy him. He's hot right now. And look, the risk is he might cool off. One of those things where you buy him late in the wave and you miss the wave, like Lukaku. If you could bought Lukaku on like match day 5 or 6, you kind of missed the wave with that guy. So there is a risk to buying him, but scored three goals in a row, 3 games in a row. So I if you don't buy him now, when will you buy him?
Yeah, I mean, again, it comes down to his price as well. But I do agree. His the last 4 matches, he's played 77 minutes or more. So Pep is obviously believing in this guy. Sane also has an illness, so that'll help him
Yep.
play the game. And there's going to be no Joey Hart. The one question about his playing, though, it's short weeks. So do you want to play a winger 3 matches in 7 days?
Yeah,
But
that's a good shout.
he's a young player. He'll be fine, especially with that type of team. Score a couple goals, or even you know what? When it comes down to Sterling at the moment, doesn't even matter if he starts. If he comes in 75th minute, he seems to score anyways.
That's true, man. And he's in Salah mode right now. He's scoring from midfield, scoring from the winger position. Jump on this guy's bandwagon before it's too late.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna actually just find out where he is. He's third. He's tied for third with 9, with Aguero with 9 goals on the season. So, I mean, you have to believe in this type of winger at the moment.
It's unbelievable, man. When you look at Raheem Sterling tied with Sergio Aguero for goals, like Pep is a genius, man. I could have never predicted this. Obviously, I knew players improve under him. They tend to play up, kind of like they did for Fergie and a few other managers. But I did not see Sterling. He's got a career high, I think, 13 goals in all competitions, 13 or 14. You'll have to bro science me on that. But either way, he's having a career year, and it's what, his second year under Pep. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah, and I like the storyline of this game because if West Ham, Adrian, who's been aggravated for the fact that he has not been playing, if he plays well, do you sit Joey Hart? And if you sit Joey Hart and Adrian starts doing well, is Joey Hart's like career done in EPL?
Look, I think, man, based on his performances the last 2 years, I think his career in a top 3 club is done. He might be able to find himself a top 6 club. But like I said on the last episode, he's not pulling out any special saves. I totally back him in that his team is garbage. His defense is not helping him. But again, I go back to my point. Pickford played for Sunderland and his team was garbage, but he still pulled out special saves. Yes, he let in a ton of goals. They got relegated. But every game, there was some kind of special save he was pulling out of his butt. You don't see that from Joey Hart, man. I think his World Cup starting job is in question. I think Southgate is watching this, and Hart's just unfortunately for him not showing any fight. To Reno last year, he didn't do too well. So I think his career, yeah, man, it's on the slide right now, and he's got to pull out some crazy De Gea-esque saves to get him back on track.
Okay, so moving on to keepers. We got Richarlison, Watford. And I'm keeping him. I really am. He's priced at 6.6, owned by 20.2%. Sorry, 20.2% of the game. Look, he takes 3 games off after scoring a goal or two. There's actually, I'll look him up at the moment, but it's funny the way he is. Where's Watford actually? So when you look at his stats, whenever he scores in 1, maybe 2 games, it's 3 games off. So he didn't score in the first game, but he got assist. In the second game, he scored, took 3 games off. Scored in 2 games, took 3 games off. Scored in 2 games, we're on the second game. So I don't exactly expect him to score in this game, but in between those 3 games, he seems to get assists. So I expect him to get assists, some sort of assist versus the Spurs. And then you go against Burnley, Palace, Huddersfield, Brighton, Leicester, Swansea. So there's no reason to sell this guy. He's priced nicely. And after this game with the Spurs, you are looking at clear pastures besides Burnley.
Love it.
Selling Matt Ritchie, Newcastle. Let's get into that guy real quick. I'll find Newcastle right here. Going to go down to Ritchie. Look, the thing is, I'm actually surprised that he's 3rd in assists with 6. Did not expect that. And then he's 18th when it comes down to the best fantasy points or total points for midfielders. But he scored more than 2 points 5 times. That's not very impressive. I expected less than that. But then again, he just came off of a game with 2 assists. He's a guy that can surprise you. Excuse me. But he's only scored over 2 points once in the last 5 matches and only twice in the last 9. So with Huddersfield and I was going to bring up how Huddersfield and Brighton, they're the teams that are surprising me right now because we always thought they were going to drop off, but they're not. They're staying around. Newcastle seems to be the team, the promoted team that did well and is starting to drop off.
Yep.
So I'm staying away from all Newcastle players at the moment.
Cool.
And then risking Mahrez, Leicester.
Oh, I like that.
In our group text, Tom said it best. I think he called it too. He said, I wouldn't be surprised if Vardy and Mahrez had a game and they both scored. Leicester, they were absolutely, that place was bumping versus the Spurs.
They were ready to take down a champion, or not a champion. They were ready to take down a title contender, and they took him down, dude, handedly.
I don't know, dude. Leicester, if Leicester played City that night, the game would have been different. But the way that they were just bumping, it was an atmosphere where you just want to experience once.
Yeah, and Leicester has beaten City before. I think last season, Vardy got himself a hat trick against City. So on any given day, man, Leicester, they're the ex-champions of England, and they still have, a few of the pieces from that championship year. Obviously, they're missing major players, but and on any given day, man, Mahrez could show up with a Shirlers, Vardy could show up with his goals. So I like that Mahrez shout for a risk. It is a risk, but I don't think it's that crazy a risk.
And originally when I saw that, I'm like, oh, well, maybe Mahrez will go on a run. Well, the last 5 out of the 7 matches, he has scored more than 6 points. You got 8, 10, 6, 7, 2, 2, 9. This guy has been on fire for a while, but discreetly. He's just kind of doing his thing, and he's not getting much notice anymore. He's only priced at, 8.4? 8.4, only owned by 4.4%. Now, this was what was this? 2 years ago when Leicester did well. I mean, if they actually started looking at Mahrez like they did back then, he'd be owned by 20% of the game at least, with having 5 good weeks out of the 7 like that.
Agreed.
And then what else? Do I have anything else on him? No, but he's been doing good. So I thought he had something else in Mahrez.